Hey guys, it's your favorite breakup coach here, and I'm back with another video that's going to help you get a second chance with your ex. My name, of course, is Brad Browning, or Breakup Brad if you prefer. I'm the author of the best-selling X Factor program. I'm a relationship coach and breakup expert from Vancouver BC, and I'm here today to help you figure out the true meaning behind your ex's text messages. If you're like most of my clients, I'm sure you've received messages from your ex where you knew they weren't telling the truth. Or maybe the message just seemed suspicious and you wondered what was actually going through your ex's mind when they sent it. So let's go through some common texts that you might receive from your ex and read between the lines to try to find out the real meaning. Now quickly though, before I begin, let me just throw in a little disclaimer. No two people are alike, no two breakups are alike, and there's no foolproof way to read your ex's mind. So beware of overanalyzing or jumping to conclusions. One text just isn't enough to determine whether your ex will take you back or not, so don't try to read that much into it. And if you are really desperate to find out whether you've still got a chance with your ex, you can use the free quiz tool that I've created instead. The quiz is available at breakupbrad.com/quiz. It's free and it takes about 5 minutes. Again, that's breakupbrad.com/quiz if you want to find it if you still have a chance. Okay, with that disclaimer out of the way, let's start with the first type of text message that your ex might send you. Text number 1, the one-word indifferent text. Maybe you've got a message from your ex that said nothing but yeah, or okay, or LOL. You know, those replies that feel like your ex was just trying to shut down the conversation or stop the discussion in its tracks. Now, most of the time, that feeling is actually accurate and your ex just wants to end the conversation. So if you do get one of these one-word replies from your ex, especially if it's in a situation where you've been talking about something that would normally be of interest to them or something that would normally generate a longer response, then take notice and don't try to dig for more. Sometimes one-word replies mean that your ex is tired of you and you need to back way off, and sometimes it's just because they're in a bad mood or in the middle of something and don't want to be bothered. Either way, it's time to give them some time and space and don't try to force them to continue talking to you. I recommend you actually just wait until your ex reaches out to you again and begins the conversation in the future rather than reaching out yourself. And so for now, just stick to radio silence and don't send anything back if you get one of those one-word indifferent texts. Text number 2, the I miss you text. This is the most painful type of text that you can receive from your ex. Often you'll receive it late at night when your ex is lonely and has had some time to think things over. They might say things like, I miss you, or I still love you, or something along those lines that indicates that perhaps they want to get back together. It might be included in a longer message, or maybe they'll just send you nothing but, I miss you out of the blue. Either way, it's actually simultaneously both a good sign and an annoying text to deal with. It's good news because it means that your ex is still thinking about you, feeling emotional about the breakup, and you've been doing the right things as proof of that. But it's also tough because it can give you a false sense of hope. I see it all the time where one of my clients will receive a message like this from their ex, only to find that the next 3 texts they send get ignored altogether. So keep that in mind. This kind of hot and cold behavior, mixed messages, it's actually very common, and it means that you shouldn't get too emotional in your reply. In fact, I recommend either not replying at all if it's appropriate within the context of the conversation, or saying something to just change the topic, like, I miss you too. Speaking of missing, did you ever find that library book that disappeared from your car? Something along those lines. Text number 3, the are you seeing anyone text. This one's a bit less common, but I still get questions about this type of message from my clients pretty regularly. And in almost all situations, if your ex asks who you're dating or if you've been seeing someone since the breakup, it's great news. They wouldn't ask if they weren't feeling at least a little bit jealous, and they're perhaps worried, even subconsciously, that they're losing you to another guy or girl. Now, don't drop what you're doing and reply asking your ex to get back together right then and there. Just because you get an encouraging text like this or any text that suggests your ex is jealous, it doesn't mean that they want you back right now for sure. But it is a positive sign. So you can reply with either a joke to get off the topic. For example, say something like, yeah, well, you know me, I've always got at least 3 blondes on the go. Or just give a vague answer that's going to leave some mystery in your ex's mind. Text number 4, the I hate you text. Now, sometimes your ex might be mean and say hurtful things to you. I see this pretty regularly, and it often comes out of the blue. You and your ex might have ended things on good terms, but then they begin to get angry or mean for no real apparent reason. It's usually not quite as blunt as I hate you, but your ex might hint at how they're so much better off now. They might bring up old arguments. They might give you hell for something that happened in the past. Either way, getting this kind of message sucks, but it's actually a positive sign generally, unless you actually did or said something that justifies your ex's anger. If not, especially if it seems unnecessary and comes out of the blue, then you at least know that your ex is thinking about you and that emotions are still running strong. Now, you want to always ignore this type of message. Never let yourself get dragged into an argument or let your ex know that their words have gotten to you. There's nothing more powerful than ignoring a text from your ex that's intended to be hurtful or cause an argument. Text number 5, no text at all. Okay, well, if your ex doesn't reply to you at all, then it isn't really a text per se, but it's definitely a message that they're sending. Now, there's 2 things that might explain the lack of a reply from your ex. Well, actually, there's 3. First, your ex could be busy. It just happens. Maybe they're just out and they're busy. They don't have time to text you back. Second, it's possible that your ex still has feelings for you and doesn't want to bring up those painful emotions and memories by chatting with you, which is obviously a very good sign. Third, maybe you've been too needy and sent too many irritating or uninteresting texts already, and your ex just isn't into it anymore. This last option is probably the most common thing that I see, but regardless of the true meaning behind your ex's lack of a reply, the best option for you is to do nothing. If your ex is missing you and feeling too emotional to talk with you, they'll probably give in at some point and reach out anyway. And if they're simply busy, they'll get back to you later. But most importantly, if you've come on too strong already and you haven't been a fun texting partner, then you definitely need to back off for at least a week or 2 and not send them anything at all. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that is 5 common messages that you might get from your ex and what they really mean. There's a ton of other things that your ex might say as well that I haven't covered in this video, obviously. If you do want my opinion on something your ex has texted to you or said to you, you've got a couple options. One, if it's a quick question that I can answer in just a sentence or 2, just leave a comment below the video and I'll get back to you within a few days. I try to answer as many of your comments as I can. And if you've got a more complicated situation or you need ongoing one-on-one help, I also offer coaching to a limited number of clients. And you can sign up for that coaching at breakupbrad.com/coaching. And of course, once you sign up to coaching, I'll learn about your situation. I'll give you my take and I'll guide you through the process of getting your ex back for good. So in summary, please register for coaching, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, shower me with lavish gifts. You know the drill. Really appreciate the support. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I'll be back again with another video soon. See you then.